All right. Thank y'all for those of you who are in here, in the room. We might have some other people join us because there are a few of our regulars that aren't in here just yet. And welcome to those of you who are watching online, whether you are live or maybe you're watching this as a recording. If you notice here, this is not a repeat of last week. This is a continuation of last week. So I've got Estela Anderson, Nestor Diaz. We're talking about Hispanic culture and immigration and those kinds of hotbed topics and how we as believers are supposed to be thinking about all these, at least having a conversation. And the more I think about this kind of thing, what I want to do here with this podcast is I'm not looking for us to all agree on everything. I want us to be able to have discussion on this and just so we can understand all the nuances and everything that's going on. So we want to continue our talks from last week as we talked with Estela and as we talked with Nestor about this, what I believe is an important issue, and it's almost like to me it's almost like we can't talk about these things in church because they're controversial and people have different opinions and in fact, we actually got some feedback online. Some people who had comments about different things as we were going through this, which is fine. That's okay. I'm just saying that people are opinionated about this, and so we tend to want to divert around this kind of subject because we don't want anybody to disagree about something. Because it's almost like if we disagree, then we're not Christian. I just don't think that's true. So we want to continue talking about this, and so I encourage you to go if you're just now joining with us. If you weren't with us last week or you didn't see it, it is archived. It's on Facebook for another week. Facebook only allows it to stay on there for a week.
But stay on there this time.
What now?
It's going to stay on there because I had to delete the live and put the recording in.
Oh, okay.
It'll be there.
Okay, so it's going to be on Facebook. It's on our website. Encourage you to go back and look at that. What was that date? 28? 20 something.
Wow.
Anyway, go back and look at last week's, and so you'll kind of catch up because we covered some good ground and we had some good discussion. We kind of learned about these two folks and how they got to us. Estela came as I guess would you say it for political asylum? Is that a correct terminology for that? And then Nestor came because he wanted. So actually, I never did find out. So, like, how old were you when you came over from Puerto Rico?
I was about, I think about 30 years old.
30? Okay. And so.
Oh, 30 years old, 27, 30 years old.
Can you? And we don't have to relive everything. I don't want you to have to repeat everything that you said. But one thing I got to thinking about as I was kind of replaying in my mind our conversation last week, like, what is it that brought you over? Was it opportunity, or what made you say, I'm leaving Puerto Rico where I've been for 30 years and I'm going to go to the States?
It's one of the reasons I decided to make it to the United States was because economical issues. It was hard to find a job. It was really hard to find a job, and those days, I mean, I was still living with my parents at the same time, old, 27, 28 years old, and I said, without a job. So I decided to come to the state looking for a job.
Okay.
So back there, I did have a job, but I was making about, if I'm not mistaken, about $80 every 2 weeks. So,
wow, that's crazy.
Well, it was with the government. Those days, I guess they pay about, minimum salary was about $3.25, something like that, and I was making $5.25. So you can imagine my surprise when I got here, and I got me a job working with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. I said, paper boy. at that age. And when I see my first check for $200, I thought that I was going to be a millionaire.
That's good.
It never happened, of course, as you know. But it was enough to pay for the bills, to eat, and to do things that I need to do.
Okay.
$200 a week, so that was okay for me.
Yeah. So again, if somebody does not know, both of these five folks are part of our church, and so we, these are great folks and good folks to listen to and hear from, and but they just come from different backgrounds. They had different experiences getting here, and so it's good to hear a mix of ideas and experiences about this particular subject. So y'all get over here, and again, we're not going to replay your whole life, that kind of stuff. But I am curious, usually when we talk about racism, it's usually a black-white issue. Like, at least here it is. That's usually the first thing that comes to everybody's mind. But, again, having different backgrounds, when you have, again, I don't really know the best terminology to use, so please don't find this offensive. But when you have Hispanics and Anglos, is that a good way to say it? If it's not, I apologize. But you know what I'm saying when I say that. So, did y'all, when you got here, did you experience and do you experience racism of that kind? Whoever wants to go first.
We did not.
Because you got a lot of help.
Yes. In fact, we were very welcome, and I had to tell you something about Puerto Rico. Of course, they speak. Talking about race, yeah. I have to be honest. A lot of the Cuban people wanted to go to Puerto Rico because they do speak Spanish, We had the same culture, we're close to each other, but the Puerto Rican people say, no, no, no. You're talking about helping people? Puerto Rican people say, no, 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 because the Cubans are going to take our jobs away. Guess what? They didn't let in. You had to have very close family if you went, but they didn't want us there. They did not want us there, so.
So when
Talking about helping one another.
Well,
he can't speak for all of the people that were there. So
just remember that, if I'm not mistaken, that happened, what?
In 1971.
Oh, okay, well, I was a baby those days. I mean, come on. I cannot help you on that.
So like, with you in particular, you ended up marrying someone who was not Hispanic.
Right.
And so that y'all never experienced any
No,
blowback from that, or nobody criticizing that or anything?
No, actually we call attention because since we didn't speak English, and we walked as a family, and we were 6. Wherever we went, because we didn't have a car. My father's transportation was a bicycle to go to work. And for us to go to school, some of the girls in our classroom just took us there. Everybody was really, they just were strange. They were surprised we didn't speak English. But other than that, they were real nice. Of course, it was in the paper, so everybody read that we were okay, and there's nothing wrong with us. We just left Cuba because political reasons. And I think everybody understood that we didn't have, they wanted for us to be part of the American culture. Come on and spend the night with us. And we all said, why do we have to go and spend the night with them? We have our own bed, it's like, I mean, they were that great.
Huh.
I mean, it was amazing. We laughed, and we never as we got into the culture, then we understood what was going on. But in Cuba, we don't do that. Very different culture. Also, I wanted to let you know that when we came, we stayed with my uncle and aunt for about a month, because my father started working right away. After a month, we went into the low rent apartments, and I'll never forget this. The food stamp department and was very persistent. You only help. There is no way you can make it on what your daddy's making, buy food, pay the rent, and I'll never forget what my father said. No, we thank you. That's gonna be more than plenty. You help us with the rent, give us a better amount, a better rent amount, and we can do it. And after we left school, we're working a little part-time jobs, and my mother started working, so we all made it. But we weren't dependent. We told, it's just something that you remember, and it's been like, and when I see all these people coming now and they want to get whatever they can out of the government, I still hear my father saying that. Thank you, but no, the government has been real nice. So we're not going to accept anything. And every week they called the preacher at the church, and he related to my uncle, and he said, they don't need it. They are okay. And about a year later, we were able to move out of the apartments into a rental house where we had a little more room. And from then on, that was, we grew up, we started going, working more, and then we started going to college, and life developed, and we never counted on anybody. Honestly, it was like, no, it's not like, it's just the principle of it. The government went and got us from Cuba, brought us over. That was very expensive. And then if we had gone to Chicago, they were going to help with finding a place and settle us in Chicago, because we didn't have any family there. But since that didn't happen, we ended up going to my aunt and uncle. But anyway, no, the people weren't racist. Maybe as we got older, I do remember one time somebody say, well, you still speak with an accent. I said, well, I grew up in Cuba. I was 16 when I came. And I can't help it if I still have an accent. Because we spoke Spanish at home. We were guilty of that. It was just, when you come home and your family, you want to be comfortable. But anyway, that was the only comment that I can remember. Somebody, and later on somebody said, well, he's a redneck. We didn't know what redneck was. We learned
but she was obviously in Georgia.
Yeah, we were in Georgia, in Carrollton. But anyway, yeah. So they just, still some people are narrow-minded. But that didn't bother me. Nobody offended us, honestly.
So what? Similar,
No,
different?
not like the
What-
Puerto Ricans.
No, I was thinking about what Estela say, and I mean, I was young, like I say, but I grew up, and then now I can talk about when I was on my 20s, all that. I do remember a situation that happened on the islands. We got Cuba, the what we call the Hispaniola, and then Puerto Rico, and then we have was a situation of poverty happening. I don't know how it was in Cuba, but I know I learned that from Haiti. People was moving to Dominican Republic because the economy there was a little bit better, you know. But at the same time, when they moved there, they kind of enslaved them, you know. pretty
The
much.
Haitians, you mean?
The people
Dominican.
from Dominican Republic.
Right.
And there was some kind of issue there. As I have the opportunity to ask the question to one of the Dominican consul. There was on a TV show when I was on my 20s, and he denied, but he came out on the newspaper. And then we have the Dominican people coming to Puerto Rico, you know, because the economy in Dominican Republic wasn't good enough for them, so they come to the island of Puerto Rico. One thing that I want you to remind you guys, we are a territory, a commonwealth of the United States. We are regulated by federal law. Okay, yes, we can. Congress has allowed us to have our own legislation, but the federal government always overseeing this, making sure that nothing is in conflict with the United States Constitution. So I can say maybe the economy was worse on those days, that they were afraid from people coming from other countries, you know, and taking our jobs or their jobs. I do remember too that many times I used to go to the downtown area, and I see a big line like going all the way here to Mall Boulevard, going to that building, and I learned that was a line where once or twice a month, I can't remember really all the story, people used to go there to get some food because, you know, so they get cans of food, a bag of food that they can take home. So things wasn't easy for the people when I was a young person, you know, when I was in my 20s.
So, but when you came here, did you experience?
Well, I was
Anything?
blessed
Or-
when I got here, because when I got here to Hartfield Airport, I'd never been on a train. I jumped on that train trying to get somewhere, and that train, the airport just went around and around. So you know that I was there for about a couple hours.
Do that.
Until I realized that, I see, okay, this is what it is, okay. So next stop, I get out of the train. And then I'm trying to find out a way to find where the buses are so I can get out of the airport. Nobody was waiting for me. I couldn't speak English. So
You could or could not?
I could not. I mean, I was taught English for 12 years in school, but I didn't use it in my country because we don't. In those days, we don't speak English. I mean, we got Spanish. So I'm walking up, trying to find the exit, and then the only thing that was, yes, I saw exit, but it's just éxito for me, success. You know, in Spanish, exit, success,
Oh.
success. And I, well, these people here are very successful. So,
That was funny.
well, It took me 4 hours, about 4 hours, to get out of the airport. So now I'm looking at where I'm gonna go. I'm here by myself. I have a little bit of cash. I have my first what do you call it, ATM machine card. Um, and I go there and I start reading names, the one that I can read, and then I found me one that it was very familiar that I can't even pronounce it. Marietta. Marietta. There must be a lot of Hispanic people there. Well, I took that bus. It took me all the way to Cobb County, and they left me there at the station. And guess what? Everybody there was either white or black, not Hispanic. So I'm there trying to figure out what I'm gonna do now. What am I gonna do now? And I saw a taxi guy there, and he talked to me, and I was like, and then he started, hey, ven acá, venga acá. And then he was a black guy, and he started, you just got here? Yes. Where are you going? Can you take me to a hotel or some place that I don't have to pay too much? And then he started talking to me in Spanish. He just came from New York. And in New York, they had so much Hispanic population there that he learned the Hispanic language. So he said, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to take you to a hotel. It's going to be close to a grocery store, walking distance. You're going to have burgers, chicken, Chinese, all that stuff. So he put me in that hotel. Next to it, there was a dealer that rent car for the amazing price of $7 a day. Huh. So, yeah. So I rent me a car for a couple of months. And then I learned to say, finally, when I was going to those fast food places, the only thing that I could say for a long time, number one. And the next day,
That's funny.
number one. So it was quite a challenge. I bought me a dictionary, English Spanish dictionary, and I started reading in English, and every page, every word, this is what it means, trying to make it coherent for me, because it didn't make anything really, just word by word. But if I experienced some kind of racism, yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I got it from both the people, black people, and from white people as well. Pretty much they were making fun, making fun. So, but I think that kind of pushed me a little bit more, to, okay, I know I got limitations, but I can better out myself, and in the name of Jesus, here we go. So my little dictionary, it was about this thick, but I got it right here in my pocket, and there was no cell phone those days.
Yeah.
So
no translation apps.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I used to learn a lot. Like I say, I keep learning. I mean, God has blessed me a lot on my days here. I don't take it against the people. I think the people sometimes have problems themselves. But I've been called even now. I've been called racist by my own people, because I had told them, listen, we need to do this. This is the right way to do things. We need to follow the law. This country, they are our host, and we cannot come here with bad manners or this and that and that and that. If you're going to be doing the bad things that you was doing before, it would be good if you go back to where you come from. And then they take it against me. Well, but
So that leads me to a question that I was going to ask anyway. in y'all's experience, because y'all both have talked about encouraging people who are here illegally to go through the process and to do it legally and those kinds of things. Why are Hispanic people hesitant to do that? Are they afraid if they go to the places they're supposed to go, they're automatically going to get deported? I mean, is that like, why are they hesitant?
Some of them are because somewhere in their background there is something wrong. They have done something wrong.
That will be on their
illegal.
record? Okay.
Yes.
Now, does that automatically disqualify them from
Well,
citizenship? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you
More
have
likely.
to clear. You
Does
have to
it?
clear.
Yeah,
It just
more
depends
likely.
what kind of record they have,
Mhm.
and that's, I think, is the biggest problem. When you come legal, it's looked up up front. You don't have any problems. If they have any questions, you address it quickly, right there, and it's taken care of if there is any problems. But when you come to this country and then, I need to do my paperwork. Well, then you start doing it, and then they pull up all that information. That's why when you see it in the TV, especially that guy from uh, that had to go back to Guatemala, he was in the
Oh, yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, the gang.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, everybody thought he was perfect. But then something said, ooh, we got a record on him. See? And nobody knew. And they were thinking, well, these ICE people are overdoing it. They're
Right.
making it. But no, once you have something in your background, unfortunately, it comes up because the records don't lie. And that's what people don't understand. And they think, well, because who I am, I'm going to get by. No, you're treated honestly, equally.
So
That's
is that
only
what you've
right.
seen too? Is that
So-
is that the main reason you've seen also?
If you got something bad, that you had done something bad, more likely is that they're gonna deny your opportunity to come into this country.
But,
Period. And
but they came the way they came, Nestor. Biden let everybody come. They didn't
Right.
check anything.
Right.
That's the
No.
problem.
Right.
That was the
But I
problem.
just trying to say, for example, if you come here to this illegally, let's say illegally, and you think that they're going to find out that you have done something back in your country, you more likely are up for a surprise. They will find out. Okay, one way or the other, they usually find out. Yes, you was doing drugs, or you was
Crime.
But-
some.
some kind of crime thing, bad thing. It's not. We're not talking about you run a red light and you got a ticket. Of course, we're not talking about these things. All
If
right?
you do it that many times, even.
Well, be careful. We're not talking about that kind of thing. So they will find out. More likely they're going to find out. And even here people that maybe they had that background, but they do something like that. More likely they're going to lose the residency or even the citizenship if they kill somebody or something bad like that. Okay, so. But again, this also creates tension inside the church, because me as a leader of the Hispanic group, I need to show them how we Christians live based on biblical principles. And yes, we want to help them. We embrace them. They need help. We welcome them. The Bible say, like we talked last time, I was a stranger and you welcomed me, or you received me, or depending what version you read. Hospitality, you show you know. So yes, but at the same time, the Bible says that we need to follow, you know, to be under the authorities. Romans chapter 13, we have to submit to the authorities. And that's the reason God put the authorities. So we need to follow. I mean, I don't like to get a ticket when I run. Not that I do it, right?
Yeah.
Go through those school zones with those,
Yeah, right.
those
You know.
videos. I hate those things.
Yeah. So you know, but I need to follow the rules because rules are here to. People don't like rules, but rules are here to protect us. You know, so we can live together. You know. So we try to explain that to everybody in church. We love you. We help you. You know that I had here, when I've been here with a group, I had write so many reference letter for migration. They asked me, you know, I know them. I go ahead, sure, why not? Here we go, write it, you know, get a seal on it. But I remember one time I had to say, no, I can't. No, I just cannot do it. I mean, there's a conflict right here because the situation was for a person that I don't knew. I don't know this person. No. The answer is no, I cannot do it. So that's some kind of tension. The person left. I never saw them again. They used to come here.
That's okay. But you
I feel
did it right
sorry.
then.
I feel sorry. I do
Yeah.
feel sorry. I like them and everything, but you know, yeah, we are a Christian. We submit to the government, but we need to follow what the Bible says. The principles are in the Bible that come first. And if there ever is a conflict with the human law, you know, where they are trying to push us to do something that is against what the Bible teaches us, then that would be the only, I guess, you guys agree, might agree with me, hopefully yes, that might be the only time that we say to the government, I'm sorry, we cannot follow that. But it created tension because I don't know, you have heard about the sanctuary, you know, refugee cities or sanctuary cities, churches have become sanctuary. Personally, I don't believe that the church is to become some kind of physical sanctuary. I believe that the church, it should be a sanctuary, a spiritual sanctuary, emotional sanctuary, you know, where everybody, whoever want to come here, feels safe to come here. You know, that nobody's going to be knocking on the door, hey, we come here to get you, Nestor, you know. Hopefully that never happened, but, you know, but, so I can come here and I worship, have fellowship with everybody, you know, feel comfortable and somebody to listen to me if I need, you know, to say something because I'm going through problems, get some help maybe. Not that I want to become a burden, you know, because the Bible says that we carry our own burden. But if I can get some help, hey, can you help? Yes, you know, I'm gonna find you a job. Okay, let's do that. You know, so that kind of sanctuary, that kind of refugee, okay, but to protect, to defend, but not to become like out there that sometimes they forget that we need to submit to the government or to the authorities, and they create riots and crazy stuff out there, attacking the authorities and all that. No, that's not biblical. We will not support that. Okay, but we will help as much as we can, So we got tension between us sometimes, and within the church itself. So I feel more like the church should be some kind of bridge, a bridge between the migrants and the civic system, in the sense of trying, to help them as much as we can, but with the understanding that there's so much that we can do for you.
Yeah, but they need to understand
Yes,
that,
right.
that the church has to follow the law.
Oh yeah,
That-
we as Christian,
Yes.
we have to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we can help do reference letter. I do that. Take people, meet people downtown for translation. That's no problem.
Yeah.
But when it comes to that is not right. You need to have your paperwork in place,
Yeah.
especially somebody that went through it. It can be done.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's nothing, it takes a little time, but we have time for whatever we want.
Yeah. So I believe
that's
that
important.
most of them understand. Most of them, of our Hispanic people, understand that they are here illegally. They understand also their consequence for that. Okay, and usually the consequence is you get deported. Okay, but again, I did talk to you just in case you guys never hear about this. There's a Congress lady, Florida. Actually, there's two. I know only one with a Republican Party, but there's another one with the Democrat Party. That they are together on this. They trying to get this law to Congress. That would be in Spanish would be dignity law. Dignity law, where it would help the illegal immigrants that are here. It would stop somehow. It would stop the illegal immigration, but also would help the illegal migrants that are here, either to get a permit of work, where they will be authorized to go out of the country, visit their family, and come back to work, and do that for several years, and maybe later that will open a pathway for residency. But that's just something that they are proposing. It's not a law yet. You need to go to a lot of things. I don't know what they call it, but you need to go to. Yeah. So, but I think that's a good idea. It's trying to help. It's trying to help. I mean,
But
if they ask me, I'm sorry. If they ask me, I would not gonna turn my back to the migrants. I don't care if they come from India, from Africa. We got some migrants, illegal migrants from Europe. They're white, green eyes, from different places. They've been here, okay, with us. All right? And we never turn our back to them. We're here for spiritual support, moral support, any way that we can help them, like Estela say, do some translation, maybe take them to see a doctor. I don't know. If I can help, I'll go ahead and I help. So,
I remember back in 1980, 1990, Castro wanted to clean the jails. So he told people, you can get out. Whoever wanted to leave Cuba, he thought nobody wanted to leave Cuba. Well, the reason he did that, because he wanted to clean the jails. And a lot of people did, because I have a cousin that came by boat. They came by boat. He didn't provide transportation. He said, get out. You can get out. And I think he was just thinking, who is going to get, to Miami, get on a boat 90 miles away? And nobody's going to do it. He wanted to clean the jails. He wanted to get rid of bad people. Well, like I said, I had a cousin, she came. But guess what? The first thing she did, my mother sponsored her because I was her niece. And anyway, first thing they did, okay, this is what Castro said we could come over. United States, I guess, agreed for a few days, but once they saw how many people are coming, and the bad people that came, they returned some of them back. I mean, you can stop some of this stuff, and you can do the right thing, because my cousin now is a United States citizen. The whole family came, and they are legal. So it can be done.
Yep, before you say something, I want to add to that. I have seen people that come here illegally, and they abide, to the law. I had to encourage them, pay your taxes. Pay your taxes, pay your due. Try to stay away from all these, what do you call these? Food stamps, no food stamp, no nothing, from the government. Try not to get, and guess what? They have become citizens. They have submitted their paperwork, all that stuff.
It can
They
be
can
done.
show that they've been paying taxes, that they're not a load or a burden for the government. I don't say that it works all the time, but I just seen it, that it had happened.
It works if you
know?
want to do it.
Yeah, so did it happen in 1-2 years? No. Did it took maybe a decade? Yes.
It took them about the same amount of time it did ours.
So, but it could be done that way. So,
Well, we can talk about this for a long time. I won't ask y'all to come back a third time. Okay, we won't do that. But I think y'all can see. I hope y'all can. I hope y'all feel what I feel. This podcast is called Life Lessons with Lane, and I said from the get-go, these are not lessons that I'm going to teach. These are lessons I'm going to learn, and this kind of highlights one of the reasons that I'm doing this, because I mean, look at me. I'm as white as they come, right? I don't have the accent that y'all have. I don't experience this stuff, and so I don't really. Until we started talking about this, I never really thought about the tension that is there, that we've talked about, that has been already plainly said. So I don't have to restate it. I've never had to live with that. I've never had to think about that. So I think it's good for us to be able to have these conversations, and I appreciate y'all being open and sharing now for 2 weeks. I just appreciate you sharing your experience and your thoughts with us and all that. And I know it's been beneficial for me. Hope it has been for y'all as well. And so, any last things y'all want to say before I'm gonna pray and then we'll go. But any last things y'all want to say real quick?
I want to say that we thank you for the invitation. We are celebrating the Hispanic Heritage
That's right.
Month.
Oh,
That
okay.
it runs from September 15 to October 15.
Columbus
You know,
Day.
so-
Columbus.
So if you guys, by any means, you guys have any questions about migrants, we probably can give you an answer, or we can find an answer. I never said that I got all the answers, because that would be the first, it won't be the last lie they're gonna say. But it's gonna be, I don't have all the answers, okay? So, and thank you for listening to us.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right, thank y'all. I appreciate it. Let's pray and then we'll close it out. God, I do thank you for Estela and Nestor both, and their openness and their willingness to share with us, and I pray that you give them wisdom as they reach people on the front lines of this subject that we're talking about. They reach people who are in limbo, people who are wondering what to do next, people who are scared. And Lord, I pray that you give them wisdom, give them love, and sometimes that would even include tough love. But may they do your bidding as they are reaching out to these folks who are living through all this that we're talking about. May we as a church be about your business and help us to love and help us to stand on principle. And so I just thank you for giving us this outlet where we can discuss these things, and may it be a continuing discussion as we seek to do this as effectively as we possibly can. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, let me remind you, next week we'll be back in here, 6 o'clock. We've got Ronnie Martin, who's going to be sharing her testimony, and it's a great testimony. And so we encourage you to be here, whether it's in person, which to me is always better, but I know a lot of folks here have to watch it online, and that's fine. And then in a couple of weeks after that, we're going to have some senior adults sharing some things about brain health, and these people are a whole lot older than we are. And they're a whole lot sharper than I am. So anyways, well, that's not really hard to achieve. But anyway, it'll be a good week. So anyway, look forward to seeing y'all next week. Thanks for joining in with us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.